Hi, I'm Kelsey with White Cottage Boutique. I'm going to be teaching you how to apply Annie Sloan clear wax to your painted furniture. This piece has been painted with chalk paint, my do-it-yourself recipe, which is on my website, in Benjamin Moore white linen color. And all I've really done is I've added 1 coat of primer, 2 coats of paint. I went around and did my touch-up, and then I've sanded the piece down using a 320 grit sandpaper just to get any of the grittiness off from this chalk paint. So all you're going to do, applying Annie Sloan clear wax chalk paint, is really simple. You're going to want a brush, especially if your piece has a lot of detailed carving like this one does. If it's pretty flat, you really can get away with just using a cloth, but I definitely recommend, if you have any kind of detail in your piece, to spend the money on a brush. This brush was $30. It's the actual Annie Sloan brush. And then you'll want your clear wax, which is about $28 at my local dealer, which is the Painted Daisy in Highland. So brush, wax, and a cloth is all you're going to need to do this. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to just dip your brush into your wax. Now I'm just getting a tiny bit on. I'm really just dipping it in and pulling it out, and there's going to be just a small amount of wax on my brush. Then I'm going to work it into my piece. I'm just going to do this corner just to give you an example of how to do it. So you're really just going to push it in to the wax. And I'm not just wiping it on, I'm really pushing it in there and spreading it around. Now a little bit of wax goes a long way. Once I feel like I've gotten the wax to cover the whole area that I'm working on, I'm going to take my cloth and wipe it off. Now you want to work in small sections with wax. You don't want to wax the whole piece, then try to wipe it off, because it will it will dry, and then it will be very difficult to get off. And if you leave it on like this, it will turn kind of a hazy color, or won't look clear. It'll look kind of hazed and foggy. So this is a big enough section for me, so I'm going to start taking it off. You're just going to take your lint-free rag. I picked these up from Walmart or Home Depot for like $10 a bag, or you can use an old t-shirt, works great, whatever you have. And I'm really wiping off as much as I can. I really want to get the thinnest layer of wax that I can on this piece. So I'm taking off anything that I can get off. And there you go. I'm going to let it dry for an hour, and then I'm going to apply a glaze. If you're not going to apply a glaze, you'll want to at least let it dry overnight before you start using it. I only apply 1 coat on sides and chairs because I feel like that's all that's really necessary. I've never had an issue with the finish having a problem, especially because the chalk paint is so strong. If you are going to be putting this on like a tabletop or any dresser, the top of anything really that's going to get a lot of wear, I would definitely recommend doing at least 2 coats, possibly 3. In general, I don't paint. I usually stain the top of pieces, so I use wipe-on poly for that. Another tip with wax is that wax is really the best product for light colored pieces. Anything white or just any light color, wax is definitely my favorite product. I like the Annie Sloan clear wax because it's really easy to apply. It's like butter. If you use a different kind of wax, it's a lot more pasty, and it's kind of harder for me to apply. It also leaves kind of a yellow color on it, which I don't like. But Annie Sloan clear wax is really clear. It's just going to take the color down just a small amount. barely even noticeable. If you're going to be refinishing something and you're painting it a dark color, I would definitely avoid using wax unless you have practiced with it a couple times, because it's very easy to end up with that haze we were talking about earlier when you're first starting out. So the dark furniture really picks that up, whereas light furniture, even if you don't quite apply it exactly right, it's still going to look beautiful. If you are doing a dark piece, I would definitely recommend using oil-based wipe-on poly. It's going to be a lot easier to use, and you're going to be a lot happier with the finish than if you use wax. Same with if you're going to be using if you're going to be staining a piece. Although you can use wax over bare wood, it's perfectly fine. It's just not my favorite. I would definitely prefer oil-based wipe-on poly for stained pieces. So yeah, that's really it. As always, let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you with anything you're working on. And that's it.